Hey guys, welcome back to Game Sandwich. I'm John Hanson. That is Kalo, and we are here to give you our first impressions on both the Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart World. Both of these are out. Let's see, a little over 24 hours after as of this recording. Kalo, how are you enjoying your Switch 2 and Mario Kart World?
Ooh, when you realize you got a problem and then you're like, oh, this is gonna get bad? That was me when I opened my Switch and then started playing Mario Kart World. I'm like, I'm losing sleep. I'm guaranteed going to be losing sleep. This weekend, I am spamming this system unlike any other. I've already beat a majority of the cups. I gotta go through and get the costumes. Oh, it's taking over.
Yeah, yeah, no. After I got mine at the midnight launch, I ended up streaming until like 5:30 in the morning, beat all the cups, did a lot of knockout tour, played a bunch of races, got some battle modes in there. So yeah, I'm right there with you. And of course, we did like a 2 hour stream of us playing it. I've played a lot of Mario Kart. I've gone into Soul Calibur 2. Um, Started up Breath of the Wild on Master Mode on the new upgraded version. Man, I love it. But before we begin, I want to give a shout out to our viewers. Uh, hey, let us know what you think of the Switch 2 so far and Mario Kart World. Go down into the comments, let us know, subscribe, and all that stuff. But yeah, let's get this conversation started. I think we should start with the console itself, the Nintendo Switch 2. Give me like your general thoughts on the console itself. How does it feel? The features, the Joy-Con. What do you? Let's start with what you like about the console.
The overall shape and size of the console is exactly what I need. I have been taking the aggressive route with Mario Kart World, and I haven't been playing it on my TV. I've been playing it in handheld mode, and doing those long play sessions have been amazing. And just the overall screen, again, I've been the poster child for getting an OLED on this console, and I'm eating my words every step of the way because, again, this screen looks amazing. The colors in Mario Kart World look stunning. I have yet to touch any of the GameCube stuff or any of the upgraded games simply because I know that's a well I don't want to open just yet. But from what I've seen Mario Kart World handheld mode and then I played a little docked mode, I mean, it's great. I am far more comfortable now on the Switch 2 than I ever been.
Yeah, I've been playing most of my games in dock mode because I've been streaming so much, but I did a little bit of handheld plays. Can't really talk too much though about that screen on the tablet itself because I think I played like a half hour or 45 minutes in handheld so far. Otherwise, I've been doing everything docked. The thing I want to point out is just how good the joysticks feel. Like
Mm-hmm.
they feel so smooth on both the Joy-Cons and the Pro controller. Like I was blown away right from the beginning how good it feels to move them. And like I went back and the original Joy-Cons, they always seem to just get us by for a good 8 years. I went back and just like messed with them. I'm like, man, these feel like so stiff now. Like it,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe we went so long with these Joy-Cons, but the new ones are just so much better. And then the Pro controller mimics those in the same exact way. It just feels so good to just like whirl them around and everything. I absolutely love how they feel.
I was taken back because I've never owned the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I've always done third party. And then I got this, and straight out of the box, just holding it, you get what you pay for, first off. And the joysticks, like you were mentioning, I honestly, like, I've been a very big proponent for the Xbox controller. I think that's the best controller in gaming. These sticks are buttery smooth. And when I say buttery, I mean you're just I can't believe it. I honestly am very taken back by it in like the best way possible. The one thing I will say for the Pro controller, while it is great, has all the features, everything, I think if you're like out there and you're just kind of like trying to budget, especially considering the game prices, the console price, you are okay with getting a prior gen Pro controller. But if you have the spare change and you're kind of leaning towards it, I say do it.
Well, yeah, of course. But we're here talking about the new stuff. So, um, the one thing about the Pro controller that I'm not crazy about is probably the D-pad, though. It feels a little bit off. I don't know what it is. So, like, on the D-pad, like usual, on the left side of the controller, and it's right near like where the controller begins to like slope down to the handle. And I feel like on the left side, the form factor there is just a little bit off, and it feels awkward pressing it, I think. Which is a very weird thing. I never expected to be saying that, right? But am I
Yeah.
crazy? Do you feel that as well?
I'm gonna pick it up right now because now you're making me think. I feel like it's a little too far to the right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Maybe that's what it is.
it's just, and I'm talking about the most micromillimeter off to the right. Like, if my natural motion is to go down, I'm feeling as if it should be on the left just a hair more. It could just
Yeah.
be me. It's been a long week. It's been a long day.
Maybe you're right.
It's
Maybe
just
you're
a
right, and
weird
I
thing.
was feeling something else. It feels okay. Maybe I'm talking more about the. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, never mind. It does feel a little weird though.
Yeah,
I don't
something's
know.
wrong. We don't know
The
what it
play.
is, but something is wrong.
I'm not sure. Um. Yeah. Whatever. Okay. Ignore me. But yeah, I love the Pro controller. Back in the day, we did a duel list on our top five controllers, and I put the Switch One Pro controller as my favorite of all time. This one so far, I would say, would be a strong contender just on its feel alone. Like it, just like holding it, I love how smooth it feels. Now, who
Yeah.
knows how that will hold up as the years go by, but it feels great to hold. I haven't used the back button at all yet because I'm not really a paddle kind of player.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll set them up and try and play them. Um, yeah, otherwise it's high quality stuff. Have you had a chance to play at all with like the mouse feature on the Joy-Cons? Because I haven't.
I haven't, but what I did was just to kind of like when I first opened the Switch 2, I set it up. I was at my desk and like I navigated the main menu, like clicking on things. It feels responsive. It feels good. My main thing was like whenever I'm playing a game, let's just say Metroid Prime 4. I'm not I'm not too certain I'm going to be doing that. It's just one of those things where I'm like, do I really need to play it in that mode? Probably not. It doesn't appeal to me, the mouse mode, but hey, I'm willing to try it if they really sell me on it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'll probably never use it. I thought about putting money down to get Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, but that's just a waste of money, and I don't think anyone should do that.
No.
Um, so yeah, I just haven't had the chance to try out the mouse features. I was looking through the eShop the other day, and I will say that Nintendo seems to have upgraded it a little bit. Now we've got trailers playing when you look at games, and it does seem to run a little faster. So that's nice. The original eShop was kind of getting bogged down by all the filth in there. I do think that I'm curious to see if Nintendo will ever actually like crack down and start getting all the slop out of there. Because if you go back in the day, there used to be a thing called the Nintendo Quality Seal of Approval or whatever on
Mm-hmm.
the Super Nintendo, where Nintendo looked over their games and said, hey, you know what? This is good enough to be on our console. They don't do that anymore. They just let whatever people throw up there be in there. There's a lot of AI slop. There's a lot of just plagiarism. It's a lot of bad stuff on there. Um, that would be my big hope for the eShop going forward. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the changes they made to the eShop. It's largely the same as the first Switch, but I like how it looks right now.
Yeah, and one thing I did do this morning, thanks to your guide on our website, go check it out. I got the upgraded versions of Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. I do like how in the eShop, the games you want, the games you come here for, are front and center. Just remove Welcome Torque, don't look at it. But again,
Yeah.
like the games you're looking for, like the Cyberpunks, the Mario Kart Worlds, Legend of Zelda, it's right there, front page, ready to go. You'll see it fairly quick. So that's one thing as far as a user thing goes, where I don't want to be sifting through a bunch of things. It's right there on the front page, so that helps.
Absolutely. Is there anything about the Switch 2 that you're hoping to see improved in the future? Like, is there anything that's been throwing you off right now?
Throwing me off, not entirely, not that I can think of, mainly because I haven't gone through the nooks and crannies of the system. The only thing I do hope, and this is more of like I know it's going to happen, it's a matter of when and not if. I want more Joy-Con like cool themes around them. Like this colorway we have now, I think it's sleek, I think it's solid. I do like the blue and this coral red they have, but I would like more variety as far as like you have the IP, you have the games, just make something cool. I know you can. And whether that be the dock, whether that be the actual Joy-Cons themselves and the Pro controller, I just want to see more of that heading into this generation.
Oh, I mean, speaking of cool themes and using their characters, the home screen theme is something that I've been hoping for a long time. And hopefully we finally see that implemented on the Switch too. I think there were rumors of it happening at some point. Um, yeah, right now it's still just the white and black. Of course, I'm using black because I don't
Yep.
want to be blinded, but it yeah, on the 3DS, I want to say they had a lot of really cool themes that could be centered around franchises or just interesting designs that they put up there. I want something like that. Like give the Switch 2 more life. Right now, it is really good at looking like a premium product. It's top of the line, the new like kind of like when you would get an Apple product and you pull it out and you're like, yes, this looks sleek. This looks modern. This looks like the next big thing. That's where the Switch 2 is right now. It's not like when the Switch 1 came out and you're like, oh, this kind of still feels like a toy. This
Yeah.
actually feels like a technological device.
Oh,
That's just not something Nintendo does.
that's the thing. Whenever I was like laying my Switch 1 to rest and then putting that dock right where it should be, it was the matter of feeling the old Joy-Cons compared to the new ones. It was the matter of feeling the rail
Mhm.
system compared to this magnetic system. The overall just shape and size of the console, the weight behind it. Those things, while it might seem minute in the grand scheme of things and casual people aren't going to be looking at this like in the grand scheme, it matters. Like this is what the selling point is for the Switch 2. This is the grown up version of the Switch 1. This is the more powerful version of the Switch 1. And real quick too, like the dock, like there's this glossy finish on the inside where you put your console in. I think that's a great touch. The back, there's the shell that pops off instead of this slab that kind of flips up and down. I think that's very useful. I've seen the Ethernet port, and then the two USB ports on the left side. Yeah, left side of the console. That goes a long way. Like, I can charge my Pro controller, get my game up on this thing all at the same time because everything is kind of close in proximity. Those are things I enjoy, and it's just another good thing for the Switch 2 in my book.
I will say, looking at the dock itself, I don't like it as much as the first one. I think it's a little ugly, just from a like aesthetic viewpoint. I don't like the like curved edges. I and how it's like a little shorter and shows more of the Switch 2 tablet when it's in. I th I don't think that looks as good, but
I wish they
who the hell
did something
cares?
with it. I wish they did something with that space that they're showing the screen. There was like this mock up of like
Hmm.
a ticker or like a clock that you can have that's like themed around Mario. Maybe that's a firmware update like 10 years from
Yeah,
now, but I don't know who's going to use it, but like it'd be nice, it'd be fun like if you're playing in like docked mode and you're actually like on your console. Maybe that's something, but
that, that's what I'm saying though. Like, who would use that? You're looking at the screen when you're playing. You're not
yeah.
looking down at your console. Like, I don't know. that would be a kind of feature that Nintendo would put in,
Yeah.
and you would just never use it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're right in line with thinking for them. It's like, yeah, no, we want to be different. Let's put something there. But then just absolutely no one would ever use
Yeah.
it. Okay, I think we've talked enough about the Switch 2 console. Pretty much, if you had a Switch 1, it's that but better.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been the selling point for the Switch 2 the whole time.
Yeah.
It's really good. I like it, and I'm excited to play as much as I can with it going forward. But now we have to talk about the big launch day title, Mario Kart World. We've already mentioned we've played a lot of it over the first 24 hours plus. Kev, how you feeling about the game?
It is what I wanted it to be. The the only caveat is the open world, and this has been the theme with a bunch of other people. There are little gaps in it that I wish were filled with more things. Like we were talking on stream, like the little pads you discover, the peach coins. Like getting the stickers is all good and well, but I want a little more substance. And whenever you have a game like Forza Horizon out there that has the barn finds, that has the competitive nature of you can race your friends around the world and do whatever, I think that should have been the standard and then add on to it or add the Mario flair to that. And right now this kind of seems like the baseline idea, like where they're playing catch up. Like they're behind Forza Horizon, but maybe in the future we get more baked in here.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. The open world, it's the selling point for this game, and the free roam stuff, I mean, I just don't care at all about it. It is a complete throwaway to me. Like, I am using that for the pre-match lobby, and that is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every time that I've just spent driving around in there, I've been bored. Like, yeah, there's some like environments to see, but there's nothing to really do in them besides small things. Oh, look, I grabbed a medallion.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
like that is all the free roam comes down to. You're doing a really small menial task for like the smallest of payoff.
Mm-hmm. The
Um,
stickers.
maybe, yeah, stickers. Like, who the hell cares?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll fix it in the future. Like, maybe they'll put out DLC for it that will like put in like actual missions and stuff. But right now, it is so boring to me. I have no desire to do free roam at all. I jumped into a group yesterday that were just they were just sitting there trying to spam the food in the open world to get all the different costumes for characters.
That's what
Also,
I'm
they were in
doing.
game chat. They were in game chat, and I was like, okay, game chat still looks terrible. It's like a slideshow. I don't know what they were thinking about throwing this in there. That is game chat doesn't look good.
No.
The share screen stuff specifically. The voice canceling stuff actually pretty impressive. I will give them that. Because I didn't have a headset on. I was just talking through the mic and it worked pretty well there. But the share screen stuff looks bad. We should have thrown that into the console discussion. Whatever. But focusing on the world stuff, yeah, I just don't care at all. Like I am completely fine just getting those costumes while I'm racing if I
Yeah.
happen to pass the right food bag when I do. I'm very disappointed that not all characters have their own costumes. I hate that there's such a huge gap in there. It's only the main characters, and it's not even all of the main characters. You mentioned yesterday, Donkey Kong only has one costume.
Yeah.
Bowser has like two or three, maybe. Pauline only has one. I think the people with the most are Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and maybe Princess Peach. I haven't
Yep.
played as her yet. But everyone else has like two or three, and a
Yeah.
lot of them have only one. And then all the I was trying to hold off on this until I played. I was like, well, maybe when the NPC characters get in there, I'll think that it's cool that they filled out the roster with so many like just random Mario baddies. And man, I don't I don't I'm not that crazy about that either. I love that they put cow in there. Like there's certain ones that are like, yes, this is hilarious. I love that they put them in here. Uh, but then you get like the dry fish. I think it's dry fish. The bony fish. Like,
Yeah.
why is this one here? Um, Pokey. Yeah, maybe someone wanted that. Snowman is another fun inclusion. But then you get something like I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head. Coin coffer.
Yeah.
Like, has anyone ever really wanted to play as coin coffer? It's a lot of just like throwaways to fill up the roster to account for the 24 players and to just make it look bigger. I mean, it's still big and it's still cool, but it's just like you get these by random. You have
Yeah.
to be in very specific situations where you're far enough in the lead where someone behind you uses a Kamek item to turn you into a character you don't have
Yeah.
to unlock it. Like that is a lot of randomization at work that has to work in your favor to fill out the roster. That's kind of dumb. We were talking yesterday, like the medallions that you collect in the world could have been used to be used in like a store to buy costumes and buy characters, like maybe even like buy new customization for your cart. There's so much more Nintendo could have done with all this stuff in the world and its characters, and they just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we're talking about all these missing characters that could have been put here in place of those throwaway NPCs. Professor Egad, Diddy Kong, uh, Bro X, Y, and Z in here. Like, there
Yeah.
are many areas that Mario Kart World could have been better than it is at launch.
That was the vision that was sold to us when we first seen it. We were like, "Oh, cool, open world. You're going to be able to explore. There's going to be a lot jam packed in there. This could have been an easy place to do like Forza does with the barn finds to find different carts. Throw them randomly like in an obstacle course or like the P blocks. Like at the end of the thing, you get a cart or something because some of them do pose a little challenge. Maybe it's just me. I'm not good at it. But like for some people, that'll be like the little carrot at the end of the trail. And then with the other random characters, again, like we were streaming and I said, "Who the heck is Coin Coffer?" And you were like, "He's in Mario Odyssey." It's an enemy I overlooked clearly, and I assume there's a lot more people just like me. And then whenever I'm thinking like, "All right, you replace Coin Coffer with Inkling or um, Dry Fish or whatever with Diddy Kong," it's like I assume somewhere down the line those people will be in the game, whether it is the expansion pass or whatever. That's just the way life is with this. But at the same time, it's like you have a lot of potential here for this open world, and you haven't realized it. Like, this has been in production since I think the rumor was 2021, like really early or something like that, like really early in the Switch's life cycle. And it's like, this is not real. This is half baked. That's what it is. It's half baked, and you
Yeah.
know, while there is areas where they do excel, I think the like you said, the selling point of the free world of the challenges, that is where it falls hard, and that's a damning thing for this game.
Yeah, and that's a very weird thing to say about a Nintendo launch game for a brand new console.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something we say about Breath of the Wild, about even like Wii Sports back in the day, which was just smaller games. You're like, yeah, I feel like I'm getting the full experience out of this. Mario Kart World, the whole selling point about that open world free roam, it is missing a lot, I think. And that's disappointing. But that doesn't mean the game is bad because
Exactly.
where the game gets it right is in the racing in
Mm-hmm.
Knockout Tour. Like, let's talk about that for a bit because I have seen a lot of people talk online about, oh, because we have this open world section and we're driving between courses and everything, the tracks are too wide open, like nothing happens for a long amount of time.
No.
Kevin, our stream yesterday is testament to how wrong that is
Mm-hmm.
because holy crap, this game gets chaotic on the races.
Does.
Like we are talking about getting hit by one item and dropping from second all the way to like 14th in
Mm-hmm.
a matter of seconds. Like these games are chaotic, they're fun. There's all kinds of obstacles being thrown out there between like the Bullet Bill cars and other cars where like you've got Fire Brothers on there throwing fireballs at you. Like there is so much at play when you are racing through these areas.
Yeah, it's the consequence of the items, and that is where I feel like whenever you are in like peak 24 lobby play sessions, that's where it gets fun. Where it's like the classic
Hmm.
gaming formula is now 24 people. You can turn up the items to like hectic, or I forgot the setting name it was, but like you can really get in there. And then Knockout Tour, that is the mode that's going to keep me going back because yeah, I'll play Grand Prix with like my friends and like we'll get together and play it and whatever, and like I'll hop in every now and then. But once I beat all the cups on like 150 cc's, that mode is practically useless. But I'll go
Yeah,
back to Knockout Tour and be like, no, like this adds very high stakes, and like I'll get two or three things in, and like I'll be invested. I want to make sure I come out on top, and hats off to them for figuring that out.
hmm I have seen some people that are a little disappointed there's not as many courses that are the 3 lap variety. There is a lot of, hey, it's a sprint race instead of a circuit race. I can understand why people are a little downtrodden about that. There's like only one way to play races like that consistently, and it's like a local mode versus, which I get it. Nintendo should work in a way to like say, hey, I want to play uh circuit races, or I want to play just the sprint races, or just implement all of them together, and maybe we'll play some of them. I do think that the way that they have the online mode for versus is a little limiting in course selection because whatever racetrack you are at, you have to select one of 3 that you're going to next. And because of that, you're never going to see Rainbow Road here.
Yeah.
Uh, Bowser's Castle is like way up in the corner, so you'll like probably never see that either. Because you're selecting the next track over the go to, you'll just your amount of options are just so limited compared to like Mario Kart 8 where people were like throwing out like 3 or 4 suggestions to begin with and then random. The random is still in there, but I've never seen it selected in an online game. So I don't know how that works yet. Hopefully that will change as time goes on and more people start selecting random, but I think sooner or later you might get a little tired of racing from one course to the next.
I also, it's so weird what I'm about to say because I don't want to excuse them because, like you said, this is a launch title for the Switch 2. But at the same time, if we're comparing it to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, this is going to be the game we're playing for the next 8+ years, I would like to think. So I assume anything we're talking about now, it's worth revisiting in like 2 to 3 years and seeing what they add down the line. Because I feel as if they have the groundwork for like an over the top Mario Kart experience, but they got to build. They got to actually keep their foot, no pun intended, on the gas pedal and get this across the finish line. Look at all these puns I'm doing. But
Mhm.
regardless, I agree with you with the maps too as well. The selection, you're kind of put in this box, and again, the one thing I will say for all the maps that I've played on through Grand Prix and even multiplayer, they're great. I mean, talk about like I think you're rubbing off on me where it's like I don't really notice the music until now where I'm like, wow,
I
they
love the music.
they
I love
killed
the
it.
music.
They absolutely
Hmm.
killed it, and it's bringing back the memories of going through like Double Dash and Mario Kart 8 where it's like I recognize these tunes and now they're reworked. Some cases they blend well together. Oh, it's an experience. It really is.
hmm I want to go back to you talking about how we have to really look forward to what Nintendo adds to this game, and you're absolutely right. Because Mario Kart 8, as much as we love how it is now, there are a ton of courses to this game. This game started in 2014. It has been in the works for over a decade. So it's a little hard to compare a brand new game to that on just the amount of courses available.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about, okay, I think there's 48 races in there
Just
now.
about, yeah.
At launch, there was maybe a quarter of that. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
it had a ton added onto it. I'm not worried about the course selection yet. Like the
No.
amount of course. I love what's in here right now. I think
Yeah.
all of the races feel very good. Um, my personal favorites are like Bowser's Castle, Cheap Cheap Falls. Uh, there's some others in there that I'm not thinking of. There are some very fun races in here.
Oh yeah.
Rainbow Road, I've seen some people be like, "Oh, this is my favorite ever," and I think they're only saying that because as you race through it, there's transitions between
Mm-hmm.
them, and that's different for Mario Kart. It looks good. It looks very pretty. I think that the Rainbow Road in this game is kind of basic to race on. Um, but that's the course selection here is great.
It
I love
is.
how they implemented it into a world and everything. Um, I just wish that Nintendo would have already told us like what the plans are for the future. We'll
Yeah.
probably get that in the first big post-launch Nintendo Direct. At least I hope we do. But
Yeah.
I want to know like when we get more races, is the world growing? Like, are we going to an island? What characters are coming? Will battle mode get more modes in it? Because right now it's just balloon fight, I think. At
Yeah.
least that's the only one I've gotten in like 3 or 4 games that I've played online. And man, I loved Renegade Roundabout or whatever it was called,
The
or
cops
and
and
Shine
robbers
V.
thing.
Yeah, the Cops and Robbers one's so much fun. Battle mode right now is just kind of basic, and that
Yeah.
kind of sucks. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. Knockout Tour. I love Knockout Tour. I mean, we've already talked about it, but racing through and 4 people at the back of the line get knocked off when you complete a course each time.
Yeah.
So much fun. I hope that gets added too. There's just so much in this game from the direct focus of Mario Kart is still great. It's when you look at the stuff that they tried adding on that it really comes short.
Yeah, it's like they're looking at it as if we presented the platform and now just give us a year or two. And in my opinion, it's like I think that should have been there. That should have been there at launch. Whatever weird
Yeah.
like extra racers you were gonna add. You got deep
Mm.
pockets as far as like if you're gonna get as niche as like cow and coin clapper or whatever, you got plenty of time to get to those guys. Get the people that people are clamoring for in this game and then just go forward with whatever you want to do.
I think Nintendo really missed an opportunity to like really lay down some excitement for the future if they would have just gave a roadmap.
Yeah.
I think that would have gone a long ways. The not only I don't feel like the game really has to justify the $80 price tag. There's
No.
so many factors going into that. It's not just the game content that does that.
No.
Uh, we could sit here all day talking about all the different factors that went into that. But I think it could have gone a long ways towards people being like, "Oh, in 2 months, I'm gonna have a bunch of my favorite characters, and there's gonna be a new island to go to and explore." I think something like that would have been gone a long ways towards showing people, hey, this is the game at launch, but this game will grow over time. I think we all assume that's going to happen, but the fact that Nintendo hasn't talked about it at all is a little bit, I won't say like disheartening, but a little bit like, because we know them in the past. Like they've had super popular games, Animal Crossing New Horizons, that just didn't get the support it needed. Now we're talking about Mario Kart here, coming off of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which I think is their highest selling game of all time, or at
Yeah.
least it's up there. Like that, that's a big deal. They're you have to imagine that they're going to build on this as time goes on.
It's exactly that where it's like we would like to assume because we never want to nail ourselves to one thing. This game is going to get updates. It's going to get the booster pack. It's going to get the maps, the characters, carts, whatever have you. But again, with not only your sentiment around the launch being this console's too expensive, the games are too expensive, having that in your back pocket to say, but this is coming. Again, it's like, oh, it would have been like, hey, you can like at least counter a little bit there and say, but this game is gonna get more certainly going forward. And who knows, maybe September we get something like, hey, the first like new like 4 or 5 racers are coming to this game with like 3 maps. Hey, at least we know something's coming. So I think they're gonna let it breathe for the summer, because who knows, and they might just throw a random direct out there post launch. I would like that, but I think September we'll get a little more news and then kind of work from there, especially as more of their games for the Switch 2 come out, because it's like, all right, you got DK coming out in July, you got Metroid and Pokemon coming out over the winter. It's like, I would think or like to assume you tie some of those games into this one, where it's like Donkey Kong Bonanza, you get whoever characters are coming from there, the little stone thing, whatever. Like, it could be a racer. Who knows? If Cal can be a racer, anybody can. So I just think it's, you gotta let it breathe, and we'll see where this this race takes us.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's a good way to end off our first impression discussion on both the Switch 2 console and Mario Kart World. In short, Switch 2 is great. It's an improvement on the original in a lot of different ways. Mario Kart World free roam is very disappointing. The characters are kind of disappointing, but the racing is great, and so are the courses and the music. I cannot wait until that comes to the Nintendo Music app, the
Oh yeah.
soundtrack.
Oh
God,
yeah.
it's so good. So good. All right. But thank you so much for listening to our discussion video. This was a bit of a long one.
Yeah, we've been
Like that.
yapping.
That was fun.
We've been yapping.
What's
It's
that?
always good. We've been yapping.
We,
It's
we,
good to
we are
yap.
yapping. We are yapping. Yeah. But if you liked our discussion, please leave a like, comment down below your thoughts on the console and the game, subscribe to see any of our future videos, and hey, if you want to yap at us, go down into the description. There will be a link to our community Discord in there. Come on in. The water's fine. Yeah. For Caleb, I'm John Hansen. We'll catch you on the next one.
If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.